In this video, we're going to be talking about multi-lines in MicroStation. First of all, you can create a multi-line in your active DGN file, or you can put it into DGN-lib file. DGN-lib is recommended because then if you're telling MicroStation to look in that DGN library file by variables, then it doesn't matter what file you're in, it will always be available to you. So I'm currently in a DGN library file, but again, I could be in a normal DGN file. Now, to define or create a multi-line, you would go to Element, pull down up top. You would then go to Multi-lines, and this would open up your multi-line dialog box. This is where I already have two defined here. Now, I can create a new one here, and that takes whatever your style of none current settings are and just basically create something from it. Or you can just create it and define it as you want. On the right here, you have two tabs, Profiles, End Caps, and Joints. Under Profiles, this is where you could set up how many multi-lines or lines do you want to produce. You can do up to 17 lines, and I can have the offset from either 0, which is in this case going to be a center line for a wall, and then I can do a -4" in this case and a +4". You also can control the level, the color, the style, and the weight of the lines that are being produced. What you're seeing down below is just a preview of that. The other tab here, which is End Caps, you can see I can do my start caps and my end caps. Start cap would be, as an example, this, and my end cap would be this here. All right. Now, for joints, you can see that's not checked, so I'm not seeing any joints there. If you want to see them, again, you can have them appear, and you can put them on a specific level, color, style, or weight if you want to. Now that I showed you how to define or create your multi-lines, I'm going to go ahead and close this. How do we go about placing a multi-line? Now, if you're going to be doing a lot of work with multi-lines, it's recommended you open up the multi-lines toolbox. To do that, I would go to the Tools pull down, slide on down here to Multi-lines, and I'm then sliding down to Open as a Toolbox. Now, this opens up a toolbox that gives me the options for creating a multi-line, or placing one, I should say, and then also all the options for editing the joints. So now if I go to Place, which is the first icon there, this is also available on the main tool frame under Linear Elements. Looking at my tool settings window, I'll see the two available multi-line styles there, 6-inch interior and 8-inch. If I select 6-inch, I have an option for predefining my length, my angle, and my scale if I wanted to. I'm just going to leave those set unchecked. And Place By option, you've got several options here. You can do it by work line, which would be the overall midpoint between your maximum and minimum lines, the farthest outside lines. Or you can do it by center line. In this case, that's what I'm going to do. Or you can do it by maximum and minimum. That would be the outside and the inside of interior wall. So we'll set it this center line. And then we also have an option to associate this. If I snapped to another element, the multi-line would be associated to it. Placing a multi-line is pretty straightforward. Just like placing a line, I would do a data, move my cursor out. Again, using AccuDraw, I can define the length and the angle and whatever I wanted to. One of the limitations of multi-lines is that I cannot put an arc at the joint, at the end of the two line segments. So I'm going to go ahead and move it out like that and draw a very basic multi-line. Now, let's say if I wanted to draw another multi-line like this. Now I have two multi-lines here. This is where the multi-line joints come in, and you can see the icons are fairly representative. So if I wanted to merge them, I could go ahead and select the two multi-lines, and you can see it cleans them up. I can also have produced, let's do an undo. I could produce a joint there. I could have said, let's pick this one in data, and it cleaned it up in producing a T intersection. So this is pretty basic. You can also break them. You can break them apart. Once you've got them done and you decide, well, I want to be able to make some edits that you can't because they are a multi-line element type, what you can do is drop them. When you go to Drop Element in MicroStation, if I go to Drop Element, there is an option to drop multi-lines. So if I choose Drop Multi-line and I drop these, you can see it's behaving as a single element, and I drop it. It's now just a bunch of individual elements, and I could round off corners or delete the center line or do whatever I wanted to. So hopefully that'll be enough information to get you going with multi-lines. Enjoy.